Andretti Autosport is thrilled to announce a new partnership with Steinbrenner Racing for our 2017 Indy Lights campaign. For the first time in team history, Andretti Autosport will field 4 full-time entries in the Indy Lights presented by Cooper Tires Championship. We will have the number 28 driven by Dalton Kellett, the number 27 piloted by Nico Jamin, the number 48 driven by Ryan Norman, and we're here today to tell you about the number 98, which will be piloted by second-generation racer Colton Herta. This number 98 car will be a joint entry between Andretti Autosport and Steinbrenner Racing.
Thank you.
You have set out to kind of make your own path in what is also a family business for you. At just the age of 14, you moved to Europe on your own to come up through the ranks there. At 16, you'll be one of the youngest drivers in the Indy Lights program. Tell us how your last couple seasons in Europe have helped shape you and why you're ready to come back to the States.
Well, I've learned a vast amount over the past 2 years living on my own. And yeah, I'm ready to come home. I'm ready to race for wins in Indy Lights, and I'm happy to see how that translates.
Very good. Colton, you'll be driving the number 98 this year. I understand that we have a little bit of a sneak peek of the car here. Why don't you show us what that number 98 will look like?
Nice looking car.
It's a good looking car. Looks fast already. Colton, why number 98? Can you tell us about the significance of that number for you?
It goes back to 2011 with the Indy 500 win with Dan Weldon, and I use it to commemorate him. You know, I think he's one of the best oval racers to ever race an IndyCar. So, yeah, I just use it to commemorate him, and hopefully we can keep the tradition going.
The traditions work.
Well, I've always had a passion for open-wheel racing. It started when Tony Renna, who was as close to family as one could get, I started watching him when I was very little, and I just fell in love with the sport of open-wheel racing, and as I grew older, more and more interest, and it grew into a pursuit in this passion that I am seeking out now.
Bro.
Well, I think a driver-owner relationship can be different for anybody. I think given our relationship, I met Colton about 4 years ago when he was racing in Skip Barber Series. And since then, I've kept in contact with him. I've watched him race through every series of junior formula he's been in. And I talked to him about his races and how he can improve or what he did right. So I feel like I know how we can work together to improve the car to the point where we can start to win races.
Thank you.
And, you know, we started talking, I'd say, about mid-year last year, and we thought it was a great idea. And then it was just, you know, how do we put this thing together? And it took a little while, but we got there, and we're just so excited to have our brand of Andretti Autosport connected with an iconic brand of Steinbrenner. I think is just awesome. And, you know, we're not looking at this as a one-off. You know, I'm hoping that this is something that's going to, you know, I'm hoping Steinbrenner family is going to be a part of our family for a long time. Yeah, we followed him, and Brian kept us up to date how he was doing in go-karts and things like that, and then really got interested in watching him, you know, mature over there in Europe. I think he's, you know, to go over there at that young age, and you know, that shows a real commitment right there, and then to go over there and to win the races that he did against really, really tough competition, you know, makes me feel really confident that when he gets over here, he's going to do really well. So, you know, I'm excited to have Colton here since I've known him since he was a baby, and you know, Brian's such a good friend, and he gets to now feel what I've gone through for many years, having a son out there on the racetrack. But yeah, really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.